Hi, and welcome to the second hour of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Great to have you in the conversation. Number to call if you want to join the program today, 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. And we've been talking the first hour about the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, encouraging you to call your senators and urge them to vote against cloture. If this thing doesn't get 60 votes tonight, it's DOA. It's dead in the Senate. So that's what we're encouraging you to do, taking calls on that, on the issue of homosexuality in general. We had Dean Young on last hour, who's running as a Tea Party candidate against the establishment guy in Alabama's 1st District. Love to take your thoughts on this showdown, really civil war in the Republican Party between the Tea Party, between citizen class Republicans and the ruling class Republicans. 888-589-8840. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to David in Columbus, Ohio. Can we bring David in? Yeah, David, Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a truck driver. I'm actually in Ohio right now, and I was just listening to your show.
Uh-huh.
I've got to say that I can't disagree more. I'm a Baptist. I have been for 50 years. Grew up in Indiana. I live in Tennessee, and I have a gay stepson. And I got to tell you, he's a wonderful person. I've been around gay and lesbians for, I'd say, at least 25 years. I've got nothing bad to say about him. A few moments ago, you had mentioned something about Christian bigotry and heterosexual bigotry. Well, how about the bigotry that that you're showing over the program right now towards the gay and lesbians?
Okay, well, David, let me ask you this question then. Do you think that private business owners should be forced to hire people that the government tells them to hire? Should that be the government's decision?
No, I agree with that.
Okay, well then David, then you're against ENDA because that's exactly what it would do. It would order private businesses to hire the people the government tells them they have to hire.
Okay, I understand that, but you got to look at it on the other side. I'm certain, and that could happen. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen; it could happen, but that's why our democracy is so great. We have the avenues where we can go in, vote on a certain law or legislature that will protect those peoples and the business owners.
But David, I think you got to understand it's either or here.
Well,
if you go with the Employment Non-Discrimination Act, there is no protection for a Christian businessman whatsoever. He is going to have to hire people that are involved in sexually abnormal behavior, or he's going to get sued within an inch of his life.
Right. Well, right now there isn't. But if this law did go into effect, wouldn't you agree that there would be some sort of
Okay, we lost him. Give us a call back if you can, David in Ohio. I'd like to finish the conversation. David in a truck, and we lost his signal out there on the road. And again, going back to ENDA, and then we'll go to James in Midway Park, North Carolina. You got to understand, this isn't telling people that they can't hire homosexuals. If somebody wants to hire cross-dressers because it fits with what they want their business to be and to look, nobody's saying they can't do that. Nobody's prohibiting them from doing that. What this is doing is protecting the First Amendment right of Christian businessmen to the free exercise of their religion and to freedom of association to select a workforce that represents the values that they want their business to embody. If this thing goes through, you run a Christian bookstore, there's no protection for you there. You're going to have to hire a cross-dresser if the government tells you to do it. Well, let's go to James in Midway Park, North Carolina. James, welcome. What's on your mind? James, welcome. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Well, as far as that goes, businesses should be able to set standards for their businesses. And they set certain standards so that they can keep a certain quality as far as their business is concerned. And look, we had certain standards set in this country as far as our military was concerned. But somebody came along and says, no, the Uniform Code of Military Justice needs to be changed so that we could bring down our military. But look, and as far as democracy is concerned, people got the wrong meaning of democracy, because our second president came out with the real thing. He said, remember, democracy never lasts long. It soon wastes, exhausts, and murders itself. There never was a democracy yet that did not commit suicide. John Adams.
And what you're talking about there, James, is that what the founders established was not a democracy, but a republic.
That's right.
And where we elect representatives who then form public policy on our behalf. And that's because the founders knew how easily the public could be misled if every piece of public policy was a matter of public vote. Then the least informed people, the least knowledgeable people, the least experienced people would be deciding what public policy would be. And they said, no, we've got to have some layer of insulation to protect our public policy from mob rule, which is what you get with a straight democracy. That's just the rule of the mob.
More democratic it came, the worse things have gotten. All I hear from the president is that we are a constitutional democracy, hogwash. And you see how far the country is going down the more they mention the word democracy.
All right, James, listen, I appreciate the call very much. Thank you for that. You know, and you look, we really are representative government, as James was saying. That was the form of government the founders left us, a representative form of government, not direct democracy. This is not a democracy, wasn't designed to be a democracy, wasn't set up to be a democracy, set up to be a republic. Let's go to Robert in Dallas, Texas. Robert, welcome to Focal Point. What's on your mind?
Man, Brian, that was the quickest I've ever gotten on the show.
Well, welcome. What's on your mind?
Oh, nothing much. I just wanted to call. I heard about this end of this morning on Sandy's show, and I listened to Mark Levin a lot, and he was talking about it. I listened to his show from the day before on podcast, but these people are rolling on us. We're going from talking about government shutdown to Obamacare. Now they got us talking about this. You know, it's just you just can't never see what's coming with this. But this end of thing, it's really upsetting because I'm just tired of government forcing us to do certain things. And the same thing that they did in California with they're arguing over the little boys being able to go into the girls' bathroom if they decide that they're another sex. I mean, we got some stuff messed up. And then one other thing, the guy that was just talking that lost his signal, you know, he said he was, and then he starts, you know, talking about how his, what did he say, his son-in-law was a homosexual?
Yes, yeah, he had a family member who was homosexual.
Yeah, so he's sympathetic, and that's fine, but, you know, stop trying to force us to accept your lifestyle. But that's another problem that's in the church is we can't say what's wrong and what's right, and we don't agree on it either. And that just was displayed right there with that guy.
Yeah. All right, Robert, listen, I appreciate the call. I'm sorry I got to let you go. I'm up against a hard break. Can't do anything about it. Appreciate the call. Thank you for that. Back in 2. Stay with us. Focal Point AFR Talk.